wish that I could have this moment alive. This is my moment, I just feel so alive.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode, is it 10 already? It may be 10. Big number 10.
Big things are going.
Big things. Oh my goodness. Guys, welcome to episode 10 of This Is Your Moment with Marsha Page. And as you know, what do I always say? This one is my favorite. Okay, they all are. So I want you to know that I am super excited today. I'm doing something different for the very first time because I have a wonderful woman sitting with me for not the first time. There's been many wonderful women.
Many times.
Right? But we are sitting in front of you together for the first time. This is Michelle Debose, owner of This Is the Day NY. Welcome, Michelle.
Thank you so much for having me.
I am so happy to sit with you in this wonderful space for this wonderful, very special episode of This Is Your Moment that will entail 3 elements to the brand This Is the Day NY. We are sitting in one component as I speak.
Yes.
Interior styling. Do you see this beauty? Interior styling, bed and breakfast, and event planning. Celebration outside the box! You've never had an event planned like anyone that Michelle could plan. I have experienced it.
Thank you.
I hired you.
Yes, you did.
Yes, I did.
For a very special person.
For a very special person. My best friend, Natasha Gaspard, Emmy Award-winning producer, had her birthday at Aquaba Mansion, where you are. Tell them.
The resident event coordinator at Aquaba Mansion Bed and Breakfast in Brooklyn, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Owner Monique Greenwood.
Yes.
Read about her.
Read about her. So, Michelle, you're a woman of faith like me.
Yes, I am.
You are a wife. Wonderful wife, by the way. With a wonderful husband.
Amazing.
I love to watch the two of you partner together in one specific area of your brand, which is the bed and breakfast portion, which we'll get to soon enough. But and a wonderful entrepreneur. You inspire me. You're a small business. You're an entrepreneur. You approach each situation with love and care. And I want to know, tell the people, what is the difference between interior design and interior styling?
Well, I like to look at it this way. Interior design is me coming into your home and pretty much resetting everything that's going on. We're coming in, we're touching the structure, we may be removing walls, we may be adding walls, but styling is we're working with what you have. We are not reinventing the wheel. We are going to come in and reset you so that you can live in a more productive, loving environment that feels like a hug and an applause when you get home, as opposed to running out and running back in and hurrying to close the door before a visitor ever gets to see inside.
Oh, okay. I really love that. I really love that explanation because I felt every moment of it. I love the aspect of you working with what an individual or a family has already. Because, that's very useful. A lot of times, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times in my space, I definitely pull one item from one room,
Yes.
stick it in another room.
Shop your home first before you go to the store.
Yes! Shop your home first.
Yes.
I do that with interior styling.
Yes.
I do that because I have 2 daughters, Olivia and Jordan, and Olivia is the older daughter. And when she was a little girl, I would store her clothes ever so neatly in our attic, and I would shop for clothes for Jordan in the attic, add some pieces from the Target or wherever I want to be.
Exactly.
But look,
You just cut out and it's a whole new style, whole new outfit.
It's a whole new outfit. It's a whole new style. I love that you do that. And that must make, for me, I'm thinking, that is a draw, right? That I could hire someone that will work with what I have, but I'm just not sure how to style the space or what to do with these items. I know they're good items because everybody loves the home goods. I have to shout them out.
Absolutely.
Right?
But don't be afraid to use a Salvation Army.
Yes.
To use the Target.
Consignment shops.
Go high-low. You can do restoration hardware for your bed, but not necessarily your coffee table. Things like that. It doesn't all have to be kaboom or
Yes. It can be a mixture.
Yes.
Which mixtures are fun.
You can have an orchestra.
Right. Wow. Interior style. Why do you think interior styling is so important to our well-being?
I think that a lot of times as entrepreneurs, as just working individuals, family members, wives and husbands that are present at home, you are running all of the time. And many times I find that people put themselves last. They put their family first, their spouse first, their partner first, and they end up coming home to something that really does not pour back into them. And if you can't get poured into at home, you're never at rest.
Ooh.
So it's very important that you take the time to look around. And if you don't love everything you see, it's time to start editing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because I spent a lot of time in my own home where there were, like, okay, for example, I have a small dining room, right? And I don't like big furniture in small spaces because I feel like it closes the room. Would you agree as an expert in that?
Yes.
Okay. And so when I finally, after having owned my home for 10 years, that's when I finally got I had something in there that fit the space, but it wasn't my style. I inherited it, right? So it really is important to wake up and see a space that you enjoy, because it kind of was wearing on me that I wasn't sitting at a table that, like, I picked myself.
It wasn't giving you life.
No, and
it was actually draining you.
It was draining me because I would get, like, I didn't have a connection to it. So I totally understand. And now that my home is remodeled the way that I would really love it.
Her home is gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. Ooh, that means a lot coming from This Is the Day and Why. Okay, but it's night. I come down into the living room. My bedroom is upstairs, and I come down, and my living room is very bright. It's flooded with light, and I get happy.
Yeah,
when I come downstairs.
That's what you want to do.
Yes, and I feel like my place has style.
Absolutely does.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So, man. So when people think of an event or think of a interior, like they're looking at their space and they want more from it, how can they contact you? How can they, what's the process like?
Well, they can go right to our website and fill out an inquiry, and my website is www.thisisthedayny.com. And all of the information there to kick off the process is ready for you to write it in.
Okay, and another thing I want to note is, This Is the Day NY has been around for how long?
It has been physically a business since 2014.
Wow,
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
So that's about 6 years now?
Yes, this makes 6 years.
Oh my goodness, what a journey that must have been thus far.
What a journey from corporate America to living the best life.
Yeah, you know I know that story.
In entrepreneurship.
You know I know that story.
Can we get a witness for entrepreneurship?
Yes, and small businesses and women supporting women.
Yes.
Okay. Now, with that being said, okay, so it's been 6 years. So now you have done some recent changes to the look of your brand.
Yes.
Explain it.
So when I got started, I was just in love with pink life. And we have an ode to the pink
right
life.
here. And I love orchids.
But it's a different shade now.
Yes.
But I had the big pink chandelier and everything was girly, girly, girly.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful at the time. But time has come And I've learned a lot about not just the business, but about myself. And I wanted the change to reflect how much I appreciate simplicity.
Wow.
And so we went from this pink chandelier to this very basic open-ended box,
Yes.
because I believe that we need to think, live, and celebrate outside the box. And if COVID-19 hasn't taught us anything else, it is to live outside the box.
Yes, because there ain't nothing normal right now.
Nothing normal about any of this.
Oh my goodness. But you managed to create normalcy, life, and love within your home and within the other people's spaces as well.
Yes.
So that's so rewarding during any time, no matter what we face.
Anytime. I'm very grateful. Very grateful. It's an honor for someone to trust you to come into their home and touch anything, and I do not take that for granted.
Yeah. And this is the day and why celebration outside the box is all about new beginnings. I find that it connects with you even coming up with that concept, the open-ended box.
Yes.
New beginnings. Each event is I'm sure something not only new to you just because it's a new client, but another way for you to express and stretch yourself.
Yes.
Right? By following, what your client, listening actually, right? We were talking about that.
Absolutely. And a lot of times it's my client's first event.
Really?
Yeah, it's their first event, taking control of a situation and deciding to either celebrate themselves or someone that they care about. So we're going through the journey together, and they always seem to come out on a higher plane when the process is all over. And that's one of the things I love about doing events.
I'm sure. And in interior styling now, what are some of the things that your clients will say when you introduce a piece to their home or when you repurpose what they already have? What have those reactions been like?
I did an office for a client in Brooklyn that came across my path from an event that I did, and a relative that was at the event recommended me to do their office, which was my segue into home styling. Actually, I was never doing it before then.
Oh, wow.
But I had a wonderful client named Yannick, and we were doing her office to help her become more productive. And what was most important to her was that she feature her parents in the room in some way.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just the small touches of pictures of them. One of them had transitioned to be with the Lord, and one is still present.
Okay.
And we just faced them looking at each other on the shelf. And it was a very touching moment, because when she came in and she saw Dad looking down at her mom from heaven,
Oh my goodness.
it was just a very touching moment, even for me.
Yes.
As I was placing them, I was my
You were
eyes
feeling
were turning-
it.
Yeah, I was
You were
feeling
feeling
it, and
it.
she felt it too. And that was in 2015, and we've done her whole house since then. Yes. She told me that the minute that she decides to buy another house, she's going to give me the whole house to do. And a couple years later, that's exactly what happened. Thank you, Miss Dixon. We appreciate you.
Oh my God, what a story! Oh, on that note, we have to move on to the next brand.
Let's go.
Here we are. Girl, are we about to take a nap?
It is a queen size bed.
It is a queen.
And there are two queens on it.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that. Okay, wouldn't you know it? And it is so cozy, so inviting in this space. And that brings me to tell all of you about another component of the This Is the Day and Why brand. Bed and breakfast.
Yes.
Tell me about this oasis of warmth, welcoming, sunshine, coziness, all the words,
All the feels.
before I fall asleep. Tell me about
So
B&B.
this cozy experience was birthed out of a desire of my husband and I to
my goodness.
own a bed and breakfast in the future.
Yes.
And over the years, I've read many, many books about opening a bed and breakfast. And one of the first instructions that I got was, if you cannot tolerate people in your personal space, you should not be a bed and breakfast owner. So, before the magic of Airbnb, that really wasn't something we considered.
Right.
But now that Airbnb is here, it was the perfect opportunity to sample it in a very nugget-sized way.
Yes.
In one room in our house, we do not rent out our entire house, but we give one room and their own restroom dedicated to the comfort, love, warmth, and joy of our guests.
I love every second of that. I love that you and Ari Debose have come together to create and serve people from like all walks of life. She's told me so many different stories of how they have blessed people, families. They've done it together, couples.
Yeah, it has been such a wonderful experience having people come through the house, because they come for all different kinds of reasons. Some local, some foreign. We've had guests from Japan, Singapore. We've had guests who came into town for a fencing match at the local university. We've had guests who just wanted to escape the city and swim.
Yeah.
Just that simple.
Yeah, and there is a lovely swimming pool out back, and we are not in season. That's why you didn't catch me taking a dip in it in this episode. All right? But there's a lovely saltwater in-ground pool on the property as well, and your guests have been able to enjoy that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you rent the one room, or you Airbnb it, or however, right? And a bathroom, their own private bath.
They have a private bath.
And then what is breakfast like at This Is the Day?
Well, I love a good sweet nugget in the morning. So I'm the one who will usually do the French toast or the Belgian waffles covered in fruit and coconut whipped cream, things like that. Or if you're in the savory mood, we can do a grain bowl with quinoa and roasted vegetables, or we can do a frittata with naan and your favorite coffee or tea. We've got tons of tea. And shout out to Black and Bold Coffee, my new favorite.
Ooh!
Yes, another black-owned business.
Ooh, Black and Bold
Black
coffee.
and Bold. So
Did you hear
awesome. My favorite is Rise and Grind. Come on now.
Come on, y'all. Black and Bold, rising and grinding. So that's the staple here?
Yes,
right
that is
now?
the
Oh,
staple here.
goodness, yes. I love that.
Everyone gets a little taste.
Everyone gets a taste.
Yes.
Well, I will co-sign everything she just said about the experience of the French toast, the coconut whipped cream, the sweet and the savory, because I've had it all. And it has been yummy. We've had it today because that's just what you do. You're so welcoming. The cooking is amazing. Nobody's going to be disappointed on
Shout
that
out
front.
to at Chef and Ari, my darn handsome husband.
Yes, yes, he's down there chefing it up right now. So I'm gonna hurry up on this part because I want to eat some shrimp. All right, okay. But this is so amazing, and so the fact of the matter is, when people come here, of course, for that bed and breakfast experience, I feel like they're a member of the family.
Oh, they become honorary members before they leave. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Everyone's always, you're always a little hesitant when you come through the door. But after a quick tour and we shoot the breeze for a little while, I would really say after the first breakfast.
Yes, they're sold.
They're sold. They're family.
They are family. Once you break bread up in here, that's it. The deal is done.
Food is very meaningful. You don't realize how much of your life is around food until you take it away.
And you know what else too that I will say about you is that I've even learned as a creative to be more creative with food because I like to cook, right? And I like to serve. We have that in common. When people come to my home, it's a thing as well. And I take bits and pieces from you. And I take the fact that every display that you hook up, like even today, the craft services.
I love that you say craft services.
Craft services. Okay, that's production talk for those of you that don't know. So So thank you for forcing me to explain that. Craft services is the food on set. And voila. She hooked up like fruit cups in glass.
Just a light continental.
Yes, a light continental, but dilly-dallied up in class. Right? Dilly-dallied up in class. And so I take those pieces because I love being a creative, and I know that we can be creative and express ourselves in so many different aspects of our life.
Yes.
Why not food? Why not interior styling? Why not event planning? I mean, in all these areas, we can be as creative as we want to be and make it our
your
own.
insides come out into it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, this is amazing. I don't want the people to ever forget that this is here because you got so many more lives to bless. And so many naps to be had, like the one I'm going to take after I eat that shrimp, Chefin' Ari. Okay. Well, thank you so much for showing me this.
It's been my pleasure.
Amazing. All right, so let's move on, why don't we? Here we are, out here. Where I've been so many times before, Michelle.
Yes, you have.
Haven't I? Haven't I noshed? Haven't I had nosh after nosh?
Again and again.
Again and again. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. It is always a good time. Every time I come to the This Is the Day headquarters, I feel like I have taken a plane ride. I've gone elsewhere. All because of this woman right here.
It's intentional.
Michelle, she's very intentional about everything she does because, like me, you are about the experience.
Every day.
Every day. Yeah. When somebody sits in my makeup chair, I tell you, I want to give them an experience every time. It's more than just the makeup. So it's more than just the... Tell me about the events that you plan and what you've planned here.
Well, today we're just doing a light nod to the veterans. Thank you for serving our country.
Yes.
So we're here with our red, white, and blue, softly saying.
Love.
Instead of the usual stars and stripes, we've gone with an ECAT fabric from my favorite Williams-Sonoma.
Oh, I love Williams-Sonoma. ECAT fabric, is that what you call it?
Yes.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And really, the flowers here are plants from the grocery store. We don't have to go in and buy expensive flowers every time we're entertaining.
Right.
This is a light lunch type of day, and so we did grocery store plants that
Nice.
came out to less than $30.
Wow, that's amazing. What I love about your event planning style is that it fits a lot of budgets, wouldn't you say?
Yes, we are here for the everyday folks.
I love
The
that.
folks that go to work, do the 9 to 5, work really, really hard, and have to spread money in many different directions. And we still want them to enjoy life. We still want them to celebrate outside the box.
Yes, because everybody deserves a celebration.
Absolutely. Life is a gift,
Ugh.
and we need to give thanks every day.
Every day.
So we don't have to wait for milestones. We can celebrate. I took a breath of air.
Yes, and you know what I got from you too?
What'd you get?
Breaking out the good china every day that
Yes.
you feel like doing it. Who says every day is a special occasion, like you said, right?
That's right.
Because we're alive, we're breathing. This is the day that the Lord has made, right?
And we shall rejoice and be glad in it.
Absolutely. And how we are glad is when we treat ourselves loving and kind. Yes.
The way our God treats us.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's why we're here on this lovely day back here. I can't take it. All right, so I love the gold and the blues. Tell me about the glasses, the small, the big, tell me how that design concept came
So
up.
the gold glasses were a Salvation Army conquest. Again, we do not have to spend a lot of money on looking good.
Yeah.
And here it goes. Dollar store cobalt blue glasses.
No way. That is
Yes.
not from the dollar store.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Did you guys hear that? The dollar doggone store. Okay. Anybody can have it, right?
Anybody can have it.
Oh, I love that, Michelle. I love that. It's beautiful, yet possible, accessible,
Yes.
and not overly complicated. This is a beautiful table.
Very simple.
She just whipped that
Colorful.
up. Oh my gosh. Well, Shall we have a seat and chat it up some more?
I would be delighted.
Yes, let's do that. Oh, first of all, the evergreens that surround the property give lots of nice privacy, right?
So the purpose for the evergreens was, number one, we are from the Bronx, and we were not into floral maintenance when we got here.
Okay, got it.
I could not do the garden thing. I come from the concrete jungle.
Yes.
And also, I needed to keep down the bees. So we did more greenery than flowers just to keep the
Yeah.
bees at a minimum.
That makes sense. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so you can actually come out and enjoy the place.
Yeah.
But then,
Not bee swatting, y'all.
you know, time here on the island, you begin to learn that bees are your friend.
Okay, yes, they do play a
And
vital
they-
role.
They do not bother you unless you bother them. Hence, we begin to add in the flowers.
The flowers. Once we discovered that.
Yes, once we learned, you learn.
You
You just
learn.
have to open your mind.
Yeah, to learning and growing, right?
Yes.
How two different worlds, Bronx, Long Island.
Completely different.
Completely
worlds.
different. Oh, that's amazing. Because I love, when I first came to your property, I was in awe by how big they are. And you told me they didn't even start off like that.
No, they didn't. We bought them at 4 feet high. And once
Wow.
again, we were green, no pun intended,
Yes.
to how high they would get.
Yes.
And we placed them here to cover the wood fence that we originally had installed. And tag reader, I was not at the time, but I learned to read tags on plants. And turns out they grow anywhere from 10 to 15 feet. And we are thankful for that growth because they have given us tremendous privacy, as you can see.
Yes. And you know what? I have to say this tip because you told me this and I was floored. The tops of them are flat. Let's
Yes.
talk about why that is. We got to tell the people why they're flat at the top.
Okay, so many years into this, because we're almost 20 years in our home come next year, we noticed that whenever it would snow or we would get heavy rains, my beautiful emerald arborvitaes, we begin to just gradually bend over
got it.
with the weight.
Yes.
And then we learned that if you chop the tops, it does two things. It sends the plant into shock, and then it begins to wiggle and widen and strengthen itself at the base, and the flatness doesn't give way to parting like the pointed top does.
Wow.
So it got really strong, and the winter does not bend our trees, and they stay fluffy and nice all winter long. And we are grateful for flat tops.
Yes, and for those of you that didn't know that, like me, here we are. You got a good tip from This Is the Day and Why, how to keep your evergreen standing if you live in a climate where the months are very cold and the snow comes down. Look at the tip she just gave you. That was free. All right, so here we go. Let us sit down and have a chat.
Let us go and chat together.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Michelle. So here we are underneath this lovely gazebo. I have spent some time laying on this bed many a day after dipping in the pool that they can't see.
And so have your beautiful girls.
They have. We've enjoyed it so much. And I was sitting here thinking about how serene it is back here, how private, how beautiful, and just the energy back here, how loving it always is. And I'm curious to know about what your process is like when you get a client that expresses to you what type of event they would like to have. Like, what happens in your mind? You pay so much attention to detail.
Well, I think it's very important to spend a lot of time talking to the client before you actually start processing a design.
Okay.
Because you can do a premature design and not really hit the nail on the head with what the client really and truly needs. Not just what they want, but what they need.
Okay, I see.
In order to feel special.
I see. So once the first point of contact comes, right?
Is spending some time.
Yeah, spending some time and listening.
Yes.
Listening.
Listening is paramount.
Yes. What is one of the most memorable events that you have worked on?
So one of the most memorable was a women's event that we hosted right here at This Is the Day headquarters.
I think I saw the pictures.
And the reason why I loved it so much was, number one, it was a collaboration, not a competition.
Oh, wonderful. I love that.
And it was with three additional sisters in entrepreneurial world.
Oh,
And it was Lifestyle Statement, Mrs. Monique Alvarez.
yes, I know her. I know beautiful Monique.
It was Blake by D. Taylor, which is Danielle. She created the You Are Built for This. I'm built for this.
Yes.
Tees.
Yes, I
she
own
was
one.
Also out here.
Ah!
And then my great friend Reverend Shannon McGee came out with her precious gems, her mother-daughter jewels. So she actually owns that company along with her daughter.
And what's the name of her company?
Mother-daughter jewels.
Mother-daughter jewels.
And they actually sell jewelry for both us sisters
Yes.
and the younger daughters, so that everyone can feel gorgeous.
Really?
Yes, they do.
That is amazing. So you all collaborated
We all collaborated.
to put on this event. It is something beautiful and blessed. I always know about a coming together when you have people that are on one accord but very different,
Yes.
but yet have the same mission
Yes.
to convey this experience, this feeling, this light. And that's what it sounds like happened there.
Yes, we also had a speaker, a motivational speaker.
Really?
Yes, and her name is Tanya. Last name is not coming to me, but it will.
It's okay.
And we also had the Peppered Moon Chef Veronica Sinclair, who dazzled us with a 5-course brunch that was like nothing else I've ever tasted.
Wow.
Yes, phenomenal lunch.
Oh my goodness. So do you do that often, or do you collaborate, or do you do a lot of individual event planning?
Most of the time it's individual event planning, but I love collaboration because my whole thing is that we can all shine together.
Absolutely.
There is no stage that is too small for us. We can all be on the stage, we can all shine, and we can have fun doing it.
Yes, did you hear that? I agree wholeheartedly. We are
Fun.
all here to shine.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my goodness. So
The top of the mountain is very wide.
it is. I like that. See, I love a nugget, y'all. She's dropping them. Okay. So, oh my goodness. So I missed that event. I don't know if I was even in the picture then.
No, you weren't.
I
You weren't. We had
wasn't.
not met yet.
Yes.
But
And
we have some wonderful people to thank for that introduction.
yes, we do. Katrina Patterson and Pat America.
Miss America!
Yes! We have to give them a shout out because
Yes.
when I tell you they are fellow women of faith
Yes.
and they saw something in each of us individually
Yes, they did.
and they put us together after the church service one Sunday afternoon.
And we haven't stopped hanging since.
Absolutely not.
Shout out to Miss America Homes. If you're looking for a home or you're selling your home, you must call Mrs. Pat America.
Yes, you must. And you must watch her when she appears on This Is Your Moment, but I'm just saying. Alrighty.
If you take a moment
Yes. Oh, I
and
love
do
moments.
and do the sniff test, you can almost smell the tribal vibes. And we have Harmony Designs, owned by Robin
Myers.
Yes.
Yes,
We love her.
we love her, and the scent
It's
that
just wafting through the marble incense holder that I love, so I brought it outside to just season the afternoon.
I love it. We love the fragrance, right?
Yes, we do.
Harmony Designs is located in Mount Vernon, New York. Our friend Robin Myers has owned it for about 20 years, and she's there. She always says, what does she say? She says, I'm here on purpose with purpose. And we love it.
And
We
she
love
was
it.
your first.
She was, oh yes.
This is your moment.
She was my first This Is Your Moment. There you go.
I'm in it.
You're in it. You literally. So there you have it, guys. Michelle Debose, loving owner of This Is the Day and Why. It's such a pleasure to share her with you. And I want you to listen as she tells you how you can find her
You can find This Is the Day at thisisthedayny.com, as well as Instagram, also This Is the Day NY.
Yes, so please follow her for the pics, for the services, for the love, for the tips. It's a good time, and I encourage you to experience all that you have seen here at some time or another. It's the holidays. Come on, stop playing.
Yes.
This is your moment with Marsha Page. I'll see you next time.
Celebrating outside the box.
Yeah!